What is up, everyone? It's Sean Weckel with Relo at eXp Realty coming at you with our June 2024 Bend market update. So starting off with some big news here, we are back at 3 months of inventory and for the first time in a very long time. As we look back through the last few years, we are low as 0.3 months of inventory. We rose all the way up to around 2.06 in July 2022, and then really settled in around 2 months of inventory over the last year or so, even dipping a little bit below that. But now, finally, inventory is back up, which is meaning more selection for buyers and some nuances for sellers as well. We'll get more into that here in just a bit. So looking at our local level of inventory there going up, we're also seeing that same stat happen at a national level. As we can see here, prior to the pandemic, we had inventory levels steady, declining a bit, and then we had that pandemic surge, which dropped inventory levels very, very low. Since that mark in 2021, we've been slowly increasing inventory on a national level as well, back to 2024, which is also reflected, as mentioned, in our local numbers. That leads us to our Bend Beacon report, which is data from homes closed in May 2024. Our median price is back up a bit, 753,000. That's a 6% change month over month. Brings us back to where we were earlier in the spring. We saw a bit of a dip last month due to those interest rates being higher and softening the market, but right back up here with the seasonality here for the month of May. 10 median days on market for closed homes. So the right homes, the right prices are still moving very fast. It's a 0% change month over month. We had 128 total closings, which is actually down 26%. And that's leading to that surge of inventory back up to 3 months. So speaking of number of sales, as you can see here, we had 128 total sales in the month of May relative to 162 in the month of April. Looking back to last year in the month of May, all right, we were right at 157 in total sales. So actually less activity in terms of closing than we had last year. This is more of a typical real estate trend here we saw in 2023 as well, where we saw those steadily increasing sales through the month of June, leveling out July into August, and then declining into our slower time of year. So a little bit of an abnormality here in terms of market, but that abnormality is helping us out in terms of increasing the level of inventory here in our local market. But as we talked about, that is also happening on a national level. Looking at 30-year mortgage rates, this goes all the way back to January. As we head through the graph here, you can see that spike that I talked about that actually, I think, really contributed to lowering our median price. All right. And then as you can see, as those rates kind of leveled off, it was still volatile. We got down to around 7%, now just below 7%. Those lower rates have helped bring that median price back up. So you can see as rates go down, competition comes up, and therefore that median price also goes up. So something to keep in mind if you're a buyer, if you're waiting for those rates to go down. Once they do go down, it's likely going to mean increased competition and therefore more demand, followed by higher prices. All right, so now's the right time. You can find the right property. At the moment, we'd recommend getting into this real estate market as soon as you can to avoid that competition and those higher median prices that follow. Looking at MLS data in June 2024, we had 520 total listings. That's up 16%. So following our seasonality here in the real estate market, we had 43 median days on the market, which is actually up 16% month over month. Again, we're seeing that inventory rise as a result. 217 listings with a changed price. That's up 33%. So a bit of price correction going on in the market as well. And then we're down about 4.8% with that average change from original price. Again, that's up about 11% here from a month over month perspective. So looking at days on market, as you can see, this is for sold properties, something to keep in mind. This past winter, we were up around the 40-day mark and it dropped all the way down to 10 days on market. So the best properties are still moving very, very quick. Now, looking at median sales price per square foot, as I talked about, we were up from 319 to 366 earlier in the spring. We dropped down to 348 due to those higher interest rates in large part, and now we're back up to 365 as interest rates drop and the market heats up into summer. So the bottom line, a quarter of listings are selling in 10 days and the rest are sitting for 43 days or more. The best price and quality are required to go pending, and that's all relative to your neighborhood. So homes that are above average in quality and above average in where they're priced are moving in that 10-day mark. If you're simply average in terms of quality for your home relative to your neighborhood and also average in pricing, even if it's not a bad price, where you're seeing those homes sit for 43 days. So if you're a seller and you really want to move your property, we're going to want to be the best in both of those categories. That leads us into a nuanced strategy that is custom made to each property and client to find the win-win scenarios. Now, as I mentioned, if you're urgent to sell, we want to be above average quality and above average price. If you're not as urgent to sell, we can test those waters a little bit more and kind of play with, again, the quality of the property as well as the quality of the price. It's all going to come down to, again, your needs to sell and to move, as well as, again, how long you want to draw out the process of having your home listed. Just know it's got to be, again, specific to your property in order to encounter that win-win scenario. Rates came back under 7%. Weather is nice, and the window to get things done is now. So despite some of the dynamic challenges that this market is throwing at us, now is really the best time to move when it comes to selling and even buying a home at the moment. Inventory is up. If you're a seller, again, weather is nice. People are out looking. So we highly recommend getting your ducks in a row and making a move here as soon as possible. Again, if it's the right time for you. If you have any questions, concerns about the current market, would like some consulting done on your current situation, please don't hesitate to reach out. Any of the agents here at Relo are more than happy to have a conversation with you and help out. Hope everybody has a great finish to their month here in June. We'll look forward to seeing you back for the next market update here in July.